I'm back, and so's the Camaro. So when I left to go on Power Tour, the last thing I filmed basically on this was me giving up. And that's really truly how I felt. I had given up. I was over it. I legit was ready to sell this car. One of the subscribers, I met him on Power Tour, and Joe convinced me maybe it wasn't the best idea. And I was just angry at the car that I didn't have it running, which basically falls back on me anyway. So I was angry at myself. So that's life. After a couple of weeks, I've calmed down. I'm no longer angry at this car, or myself for that matter. So we need to get it running. When I left, car won't start. Won't do anything. It had been running and had since just gave up the ghost. So I'd ordered a computer and it was wrong. I'm going to order another one and see if I can get that straightened out. I don't know if it'll be in for this video. Sometimes Summit sends it next day. Sometimes it's 2-3 weeks. But I also ordered a new ECM PROM for it, which is what actually tells the computer what to do. I don't know if it's even here. My wife said it didn't come in, but I haven't looked through all the mail that came in for me, so we'll see. Other things that weren't working, the headlights. The high beam works, low beam doesn't for these new headlights I was trying out. I need to mess with that when you get them all working. I've ordered some, and another subscriber, which used to be a GM Tech, he said that probably the reason that the idle was so erratic in this car was the ignition pickup in the distributor, which I had that distributor out, and if I had had more time that day, I would have just rebuilt it that day, because I looked at it and thought, yeah, I ought to replace that, but whatever. So the only things that are in the ignition in the distributor I didn't replace were the ignition module and the ignition pickup. Cool. And I've got both of those coming. They're not here either. So we can't do that yet. But we can work on the headlights and just see if we can get that ironed out before all the parts come in. And I think that will put this car to the point basically that it's a driver. So if the computer chip works and the distributor thing works out, we should be a driver again. All right, you can see the fog lights are on, but none of the headlights are on. When the fog lights are on, the outer headlights should be on, as best I could tell. It's been a long time since I had one of these cars. I think that was it. It's just the outer headlights are on, and the inner headlight would be for the brights. So we need to check and see if the outer side is even getting a 12-volt signal or not. Somebody said that maybe the bulb itself was bad, but what's the chances of both outer bulbs being bad? Pretty slim, but we might even check that. I'm going to set you down right here. Let's see here. So, let's just unplug it. And I have the one on the side of it already kind of the pigtail unplugged. We're just going to plug it in. We'll just see if it works. And if that magically works, we have 2 bad bulbs. If it doesn't work, then there's other issues. As I suspected, it still doesn't work, because I didn't think we'd have 2 bad bulbs. So let's see here. So this side is supposed to be ground. And I don't know which one of these others is supposed to be positive, but one of them. It's almost, I'm sure it'd be hard to see. That was almost 11 volts. 10.8. The other upper one is nothing. So it's odd that it is getting a signal and producing nothing. I wonder. I'm going to guess that upper one is for the, when it's on brights, they all are supposed to be on, maybe. I am winging it on this. I'm going to turn it over to the brights. I want to test and see what voltage I get out of that one. All right, the brights are on. .8, 10.7. I'm sure you can't see it, but what about this? Well, when I was making the connection with this one, the far one's kind of blinking on, but not to full capacity. And that's 10.6. So, is it possible it's just not that the wiring harness isn't right for these new bulbs? I didn't look at it. Yep. On this plug, this is the ground, and that's hot. On this one, they've got this side is hot and this side is ground. I'm gonna flip those. I have these little pigtails. I may use one of those just to test it, but I think that right there will fix that. Give me just a minute. I'm gonna do that, and we'll come back and we'll test it out. I'm gonna turn the headlights off while I do all this. All right, so I use this little pigtail, and I flipped it around where that's correct. This one's correct, but the upper one doesn't really get used, and it'll fit over that little notch. So I just left that hooked up how it was, and I did the same thing to the other one. So in theory, I'm gonna set you guys up back here. All right, so in theory, when I turn this on, the outers, I think, will come on, and then I should be able to flip it, and then the inners come on. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just see if any come on. Let's see. Oh, they're all on. Well, most are on. There we go. That should be low beam right there. So low beam, we get all of that. It looks like the center on both are working. Now, let me double check something else. So I hit the high beam. It all should have came on, but the one didn't. Or the one went off on that side. So why? Oh, the connections just wasn't real good. There we go. So on the inner ones, interesting. The outer ones are only the center sections. The inner ones are lighting the center section and the outer bulbs. And then when it's on low, all of them are lit. Interesting. But but that's better than none of them working, and I'll take it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just depin this side and just flip them because that's what they need. I don't want to use that extra harness if I don't have to. I'd like to be able to just plug that right in. Let's see here. So for the channel, I thought I'd talk to y'all about this while I was working on stuff. Previously, I really didn't intend to take this channel any further than I've already done it. But it does seem like a lot of people enjoy it, and I do enjoy making it. I've owned a car lot for the past couple of years, and if you know anything about the car world, which I'm going to go with most of you do, you know that the used car market has been stupid at auction due to the viruses going around that I can't really say because they'll block my junk on YouTube. And I have always been into old cars. And see, now we can just plug that dude right in. So I've decided what I'm going to do is start buying old cars, fixing them, and selling them. And they're not all going to be Camaros. That's going to upset some of y'all, I'm sure. But let's see if we can't get this one actually in the housing now. You know, I built this car for me, really, is what I did, and to own and just to have. So, I'll buy whatever I can afford and find. So what I'm thinking is you'll be seeing a lot more will it runs from me and that sort of thing. But it might be, who knows? It'll be something older, Oh, look at that, man! That's beautiful. But I think that's what the channel's headed to. I'm already looking for a new location to work out of. And this is going to be a legit business for me. I have to pay the bills. I can't. Well, is that going to fit? Maybe. Does not want to fit in its housing. But I do have to pay the bills still. I mean, if it's not paying the bills, I can't do it. This what I'm doing now takes a ton of time. And I'm not getting paid anything for this. So I know that someday maybe, but yeah, I don't have someday maybe. I got to eat till then. So let me get this housing figured out because I think I'm going to have to bend. There's a tab right here. I'm going to have to bend out of the way, I believe. And we'll go from there. All right, so I went ahead and put the screws in this one. And it doesn't fit exactly like the original does, which I don't care about, but it does fit in there really well, and it tightens up just fine. So back to the channel. What we're going to do, I have several cars that I bought over the past couple of years that need major attention at my car lot. I've got to fix them. I don't have a choice. I've got to fix them. That's going to take the vast majority of my time. I've got a couple engine swaps. I've got a wreck. And I've got just a couple other vehicles that have minor issues but still need to be fixed so I can sell them. And I have to sell these cars so I can be able to go ahead and pay for starting the other business. I mean, I've just got all this money tied up in these things and they have to go away. So I'm considering filming them, and we'll see how the videos do. They will be kind of like what I've been doing. It's not going to be like a step-by-step of how to change a motor in a Fiat, because one of them's a Fiat. It is a Fiat convertible, though, which is kind of cool. That's why I bought it, and or whatever. But it'll just be me doing the work. So your choices basically at this point, and I'm kind of letting y'all, I want to see what y'all think, or would be watch me work on whatever the heck I got to fix, and me record it and edit it and stick it out weekly just like I'm currently doing. Or 2 would be you get nothing for the next, I don't know, 3 months while I do all this work that I have to do because this car doesn't pay the bills and I have bills to pay. So consider that and see what you think. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. I really do. I am curious to see. I don't want to make these videos and nobody watch them, because if nobody watches them, it hurts my analytics. So if I'm making them and they're not being watched, I will stop making them until I can make videos about old cars again. So drop it down in the comments and let me know what you think. But yeah, that's kind of where that's at. I'm gonna go ahead and put the other side in. Actually, I'm gonna test these. Let's test these, make sure they still work. And then we'll do the other side. There's low beam. And there's high beam. Yeah, we're still working. All right, they're all back in their housings. So let's just make sure all the actual headlights work. And if they do, we will go into getting the halos working. Yep, we got a low beam not working. I bet it's not plugged in good. This is the one that was giving me a problem a minute ago. Oh, I see the deal. Let me show you something. All right, so this side, I blindly just switched these wires over because the other side had to be switched. But I'm having a thought that maybe that first one I switched was just wrong, like it was shipped out wrong. I don't think this, I think this one was now wrong, where before it would have been right. Yep. So I switched these two a minute ago. Let me see if I can get it, the black and the blue, but really they were correct. So it was just that one headlight that was wrong. I'm gonna pull this out and flip them back over and then plug it back up. It's a pretty simple process. I didn't film it because it was so easy. You'd already seen it. But you can see that if I'd have been paying attention, I wouldn't have made this mistake. That's okay. My brain's starting to function again after the traveling and just all the thrashing before I left. My brain was barely functioning. It definitely wasn't to its fullest abilities, which is not to say that that's a high level anyways, but it definitely wasn't doing me any favors. Now I'm gonna plug this back in, screw it back up, but I'm sure it'll work now that it's right. We'll test them again. So let's test them one more time. Hey, look at that, it works now that it's plugged in right. And there's high beam. I think everything's working like it's supposed to. I'm totally okay with it anyways. Now we just got to get the halos to work. Okay, so this is the rest of the harness and stuff this comes with. Comes with a little box here, and you can actually download the app, which I'll have to do. I haven't done that yet. I'll do that here in a sec. But this is a Bluetooth box. and I can change the color of the halos to whatever I want. They have these that are just white and amber, and I think they have a lot of problems with them blinking, and people have to use resistors and stuff to keep them from blinking and doing craziness. You're not supposed to have to do it with this. So I'm actually going to mount this underneath the dash, and just when you turn the ignition source on to accessory, I'll power this up and it'll work just fine. And here's the harness it comes with, and it's super simple. These little pigtails just are on the back of the thing. You just stick them in, screw it together, boom, it's done. Same way with this side to the control box. There's not much to that. I'm going to take a few minutes and figure out how I'm going to wire it and go ahead and get this wiring harness in. And we'll get it temporarily hooked up just to make sure it works. And I'll show you that. I got them all in. I've got it kind of set to where it'll just kind of go through the colors so y'all can kind of see it. I'm sure that it's going to be... Here we go. I mean, it just kind of... There's so many different colors you can choose from. I actually like the white, which is the most basic, and I know that. That's for driving. I'll probably keep it on white. But I don't know. I kind of like the amber, and the red looks cool. So's the blue, but I don't know. It is what it is. I like the fact that I don't have to put a toggle switch inside the car to turn these on and off. I can do it all from the app. I'm going to set it to where they just start when I turn the ignition switch on. They come on, but if I'm sitting someplace, I wanted to be able to just turn them off, just in case I'm sitting with the ignition switch on, but I don't have the car running or whatever. Also, I can just turn the switch on in the car if anytime I'm driving it, they'll just come on, the halos will. So I don't know. I like them. I think they're really cool looking. I'm sure there'll be plenty of people that don't, and that's fine. But yeah, I think they're cool. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is pull the distributor cap off so we can get the distributor out. You do need to mark that when you pull it. It needs to go back in exactly how it came back out. Otherwise, you'll have issues. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the cap off. There we have it, it's out. The part we're going to change is way down in here. You have to actually knock a roll pin out. I'll show you as I go. All right, so there is not much to taking this thing apart, really. Just take the rotor button off. Set that aside. I'm going to knock this roll pin out. What I always do is just get a socket, put it on the bottom so the roll pin has someplace to go, like that. And then use a screwdriver. Works better with a punch, but this is what I got, so I'm gonna get it going. You don't want to damage the teeth, so be careful with that. Let me see if I can find something better to knock that out with right quick. Here we go. I got an awl. It'll do better. Oops. I'm gonna have to take this out and put it on something that's more sturdy than this table. All right. So I just laid it on the floor and I was able to get it to pop out. Once it pops out this far,
I usually just take a small pair of locking pliers and pull that dude out of there. It's usually not too hard once you get it moving. Well, this one's going to be ornery. Alright, so the camera battery died. It's actually the next day, whatever. Once the ignition module's out, you want to take the pickup coil off. Oh, so I couldn't see this. I'm going to get you in here close. There's a lock ring at the very top of this. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I'm going to have to try to get that off of there. I couldn't see it before, but it makes sense. Something has to hold that down. So I got a pick here. I'll see if I can get that off. That little guy right there is holding me up. If I didn't even know it was on there. I couldn't even see it. And there we go. It comes right off. The new one, this goes over the little dowel pin, so you can't get it wrong. I mean, I could probably get it wrong, but the average person couldn't. I can mess about anything up. That is a very tight fit over that pin. There we go. So I get that clip back on now. All right, got the clip back in. I'm going to clean this off just a little bit where the module goes. It goes metal side down. And you got to put this dielectric grease on it so it doesn't cause issues in the future. Just put it right on. This stuff is kind of like anise. You a dab will do you. It doesn't take much. It's like putting anise on something. If you just get a little on you, it's on everything. This is the same way. Go ahead and plug all this into this module and then bolt the module down. So I ended up hitting that with a little purple power and cleaned it up. I thought I had brake cleaner here. I don't. I'm going to go ahead and slide this rod back in. I put a little bit of WD-40 on it just to help it slide in. It slides in beautifully. Now, put the retainer The washer back on, and then the cam gear slides right on. You just slide it on and line up the hole for the dowel pin. I've got it started. I'm going to take it over and put it on something solid and drive it the rest of the way in. If you have a brass punch works really well for this because you won't mar anything up. Also, a brass hammer would be great. I don't have either one of those, so I'm making do with what I got. All right, I drove that back in. Everything spins just like it's supposed to. We'll put the rotor button button back on. Slide this dude back in the engine. Let's see if I can get this stabbed back in there now. Been a couple days, but I'm going to try to fire this car up. Before I left for my trip, this car didn't run. I don't know what was wrong with it. I thought it needed a computer. It still may need a computer, but I don't know. I just want to see if it'll pop off. Fuel pump's not engaging. I'm gonna look into that right quick and see what's up with that. But when you turn the key over, it does not turn on. Well, I thought the fuel pump wasn't coming on, and it wasn't. I'd forgotten to plug the old computer back in. So let's see if she'll start now. Hey, fuel pump's running. All right, let's see if we can see spark on this thing or not. So that's the power wire to the distributor. I've got it hooked up to a test light. I just want to see if when I turn the key on, if it comes on. Let's see. All right, so we have power 2 to the distributor when that kicks on. I'm going to try it one more time. And if we don't get spark there, I'm actually betting I know what's wrong with it. Well, I'm pretty sure the computer's bad. I was already pretty sure the computer was bad, so it's not new. The computer I ordered, I did an exchange for the one I already had. It'll be here in about another 10 days. So it won't make the next video. I'm going to try to find a computer somewhere else. That one's from Summit. They've already let me down once. I have very little faith that the next one will work. Both of them say they will. So that probably won't. They show you one picture of a computer, no PROM, no, how the PROM goes in or none of that. So I don't know. I am going to try to find another one though. If I can find one, great. If I can't, we'll just have to wait and then figure it out as we go. Also, the channel's going to change. The Camaro's still going to be on it. It's not going away. But the Camaro's going to be a lot less on it for a while. Like I said earlier, I have a car lot and I have 7 cars that I need to move. I'm going to close the car lot down. I have 1 car on the lot that's probably not going to get fixed. It's just going to get stripped and crushed. But everything else needs to be fixed so we can get the maximum amount of money out of them. I'm going to make videos on that. I asked earlier, for you to leave your opinion, and I still want that opinion. I really do. I want to know what you think about it, and if you'd watch or not. But I'm going to have to fix them. I might as well make a video of it. Somebody will watch it maybe. And we'll try to have fun with it. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll learn something. Maybe I'll learn something. I could really use to learn something some days. But anyways, we'll get those done, and then the plan for Forsaken Steels, it's going to become its own company. I'm going to be out pulling cars out of the weeds, maybe getting some of them running and driving, and then moving them on. Forsaken Steel's actually been around a long time in my head, 10 years. And that's basically all I've ever wanted to do is pull junk out of the weeds, get it running, and move it on down the road. We may build a nice car or two here and there every year, but that's not going to be the full thing of the channel. It's not going to be just me building nice cars or whatever, throwing tons of money at them. But I think that could be a fun channel. It's kind of hard to find real estate around here to rent, but God's always took care of me. He'll take care of me again, I'm sure. I'll find something that fits. But thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. I found a guy that I've started watching some of his stuff is Junker Clunkers, and Clunkers with a Z. He's been doing some late model cars. I know that's not everybody's bag, and that's fine. It doesn't have to be. But he's got a couple of projects coming up that I think are going to be really cool. He's got an 88, I believe 88 Mustang that he's going to work on, and get, I don't know what he's going to do to it, but and then he's got a 66 Mustang that I think he's going to do a lot of work to. It sounds like it's been apart, and it sounds like he's had it for a long time. It sounds like it's been apart for a long time. So we'll see how that goes for him. I hope it goes well. But go check the cat out. Give his channel a subscribe and a like. Hey, give my channel a subscribe and a like. The vast majority of the people that watch this channel on a regular basis, I can see, y'all aren't subscribed. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. Just hit the subscribe button. Help me out. As of today, I have 499 subscribers. I'm one away from 500. My daughter has asked me every day for a week if I've hit 500, because she's like, I just want to make another sign. I want to be on your video again. So we hit 500. Guess what? You're gonna see her with a little sign. She's gonna be ecstatic. So make a little girl's dreams come true. Hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll hit this again next week, and we'll go from there. And we got so much stuff to do, it ain't even funny. Thanks for watching.